Thanks for joining us here on the Bearcat Sports Network. It's a big day here for McKendree Athletics. As you can see in the background, we've got a name and a number, and we've got the guy who's going to wear that name and number this coming season, Matt Cole, a member of the Miami Dolphins. Matt, congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate you for having me on here.
Looking back in April, I know you were excited about the draft. Unfortunately, the 7 rounds came and went. You weren't drafted, but immediately after the draft, the Dolphins gave you a phone call and said they wanted you as part of your team. Talk about that feeling when they made that phone call.
Well, as the draft went on from the fourth round to the seventh, like I was talking to a lot of player personnel, scouting directors, and a couple of coaches talking about if they're gonna pull the trigger, and kind of teasing me. I'm like, man, if y'all really want me, just pick me. So, I mean, in the seventh round, I got a call from Coach Flo. He told me they wasn't gonna draft me, but they would love to pick me up as a free agent. So I said, okay. I mean, I'm cool with that, no doubt. So just hearing him say that, what I'm saying? It was like a surreal moment for a minute. I'm like, damn. Because when I saw that number, I'm like, oh, this is it. They got to be pulling the trigger. But unfortunately, they didn't. But like they still picked me up anyways. But for me, like it was a very it was a proud moment for me, my mom, my dad, everybody who came in to support me. And the wait was over, and we went to the backyard. And we popped some Dom Perignon. So I mean like. To be honest, that whole weekend was kind of stressful for me because I was wondering like where I'll be ended up at, like especially like geography. When they talk about the geography side of it, like
Yeah.
to be honest, I've been in the Midwest all my life, so I can honestly say I can play in just about any weather. But in Miami, like Florida, it's the Sunshine State, and it's hot every day. Like it's hot all year round. It's the same weather every day. So I had to move out here earlier, like earlier than expected before training camp. I came out in June just so I can get acclimated to the weather, and it's done its justice so far because I'm still here now.
Wonderful. Talk about that. Process. Obviously, with COVID, things were a lot different. There weren't the mini camps, no preseason games. So you said you got down there early to acclimate yourself to the weather. Talk about you going through that process of getting into camp and then starting to work with the guys as you work down towards these final days.
Okay, yeah, the process it was beautiful to be honest. Reason why I came out early is like I said, just to get familiar with the weather, and then my position coach he even wanted me to come out and actually run some routes with with the whole offense. That way I can get a feel of how fast the offensive tempo is, like just kind of like learn like the play concepts and route techniques and all that. So I came out here earlier just to get saying familiar with that, and then with these veterans they just took me under their wing, and just a kid from Chicago. I mean I ain't expect I'll be playing for the Miami Dolphins, but it's an honor and it's a blessing. It's kind of unfortunate that COVID kind of messed up the whole preseason thing. So I feel like not just for me, but like a lot of undrafted guys, because I feel like the preseason, that's the time where undrafted guys like myself get to showcase their talents and show that they're worthy enough to be on this team. But unfortunately, their preseason on evaluation is all in training camp. So you have, from the day of first week of August to the end of August, just to, it's an evaluation. You need to impress these veterans, the coaching staff, the whole organization that you belong on this team and you're there to help the team get better. So, I mean, overall, camp for me, it's been up and down. It's been like I started off slow to be honest because I was overwhelmed by all of this. Like just being in a different environment, the speed, how the offense really is. Once now that we're in camp, it's like everything is moving just like that. So like it took me a minute to kind of keep up with the pace. That like we run into the hole. Like you got to get lined up in a matter of seconds because everything is like we're on the clock now. So I feel like me getting adjusted to the game speed, it took some time, but like I feel like at the end of the camp, I've started to like now I started to roll some of these coaches and some of the players. They started to they'll tell me anytime like I do a good play, good job 82. I wouldn't let that get to my head. I'll let that keep me sane because yeah, I got a good play. Like I never try to get too big headed on anything that I did in one day in practice. I want to keep doing that the next day and the next day and the next day. It's all about being consistent. That's what all these coaches are looking for. But unfortunately, I was released on Friday, and for like 48 hours, I wasn't sure where I was going to end up, if they was going to bring me back for practice squad or I had to they was going to send me packing and go somewhere else. But practice squad is better than no squad, and the way I look at it is, if you're on practice squad, then they see potential in you, and it's like if somebody goes down for that position, you could be like the next man up. But it's all about you being consistent and showing them that you belong to be on the active roster. And I feel like being on practice squad, that should be your game day every day.
And the Dolphins obviously saw some potential in you. Obviously, we know the kind of potential you have, but like you said, you made it to the final cuts on Friday, and then they brought you back on the practice squad. So they do see something in there where, like you said, you could be next man up.
Yeah, and that's one thing. I'm also like, I'm actually, I show gratitude and genuine that I finished the whole training camp, because some guys got cut, first day of practice, throughout the middle. I made it through the whole camp, so I feel like that's a good sign. Like they was able to evaluate me throughout the whole camp, whether I'm on the field or just walking around in the facility. And everybody tell, I'm not sure, they tell the higher power that I'm just charismatic and just good guy. That's one thing they really like about me too. Cause like I can be charismatic off the field, but once we get on the field, it's like it's straight business. It's a business now.
Man, I love the fact you haven't lost your confidence. That's one thing we've loved about you the last 4+ years.
Yeah, that ain't never going nowhere to me. That's just something I just kind of pride myself into. My parents, they told me, like, saying, have faith in yourself. Just even when the odds are stacked against you, which they were, because to be honest, I'm the only person on our team that's from a lower level school. Everybody else is FBS and FCS, maybe XFL. You know what I'm saying? I'm just that one little dot in the corner. Like and they don't even call me rookie in the facility. They call me Muscles. They
Call you what?
They call me Muscles or Southside. They don't even call me by my first name, or they don't even call me rookie. They call me Muscles or Southside. And I just think I think Muscles is the funniest part, because I guess they said not too many wide receivers are built like this, and I said only because I'm short. I'm 5'10". But the other receivers like 6'1", 6'3", 6'4". The average height for receivers at least 6'1", 6'2", and they muscular. I'm just, in order for me to be able to, I want to show them I'm big enough to take hits in this league.
I'll tell you what. A lot of people say if you got a nickname already, you got a quick nickname, that means you've been kind of taken into the crowd, so to speak. So.
And that's great to hear. I'm trying to show them I'm worthy, and I just said, the way it worked with us, well, I can't speak on every other organization, but it's like if one person go down, it's like the next man up. And like I said, with me being on practice squad, I'm not going to let up. I'm not going to get complacent. I'm going to treat practice. Practice for me now is like game day. So I'm going to be diving for balls. I'm going to treat every play like it's like I'm in a real game situation. So I'm just looking forward to this week as we get this regular season started.
And game day certainly was good to you during your time at McKendree. We talked about you going 4.5 months back when you signed your contract initially. Let's go back 4.5 years when you arrived at McKendree. Did you ever think this was possible?
No, I really didn't. I still to this day, I just be thinking to myself, like, how the hell did I'm really just like this whole process caught me off guard. Like, but don't get me wrong, I always like, what, I feel like I have what it takes to get to the next level. As long as I get to show these coaches and the team what I could do, like me being a freshman, I knew right away I wasn't gonna start because this is a freshman out of high school. I was no 3-star. I wasn't no star-rated athlete. I was just another kid from Chicago. I played on special teams all 4 years, and that was really like my bread and butter. Like that's what got me into the door, being at McKendree, for the 4 years, and then with what I'm doing now. Like they see that he not only can just play catch, he also knows how to tackle too. He can run down on special teams, and he's just a baller. They looking for like a lot of guys like that, because most guys at this level, they all probably was used to one position back at their school. So it was like some guys just, I could tell, I ain't gonna say who, but like the demeanors like of how they attitude is, especially it's kind of sickening to me, But it is what it is. So like I said, once my numbers call, I just ball out. You know.
Uh, Looking back at your McKendree career, obviously, collectively a great 4 seasons. Your last 2 years were off the charts. A big 2019 season. Do you think that helped open some eyes to the scouts in the NFL?
Most definitely. I feel like what really got scouts' attentions and stuff, I want to say towards the end of my junior year, and then when I had my pro day, my junior pro day, I feel like that's what made guys be like, okay, maybe where's it? Where's McKendree again? Like they be questioning. I'm like, look, man, it's in Southern Illinois. It's a small private school in Lebanon, Illinois, and then like for them to be coming from all these other places just to come to like nobody, they never even heard of McKendree University, and that just says a lot. It shows like, okay, it doesn't really matter the level of play you play at. You know what I'm saying? If you ball out and if you're a competitor, your work will get noticed eventually. And as long as you just keep your head down and keep your nose clean.
Hey, you definitely went to the right senior pro day because everybody knows where Northwestern is in Chicago. So
Yeah. I had a ball there. That was after I was done with that. I felt like my weight was lifted off my shoulders because that day I was really stressing about because that was the biggest job interview for me, along with the other prospects that was around. And on that day, I had to be selfish. I just think by myself, like, I'm not here to politic with any of these other prospects. I see them in the league, that's cool. Today, like, look, man, I want my numbers to look better than you. I'm sorry. It is what it is. Well, sorry, not sorry, to be honest. Like I said, I'm just a competitor. I'm just that baller.
well, Matt, definitely not trying to put you on the spot here. Who were some of your biggest influences during your days at McKendree?
Uh, AJ Winland. AJ Winland for sure. Um, just because of the type of mindset he had, the type of mentality he had on and off the field. I mean, like a lot of people might say he's crazy, but like I don't think he was. Like unless if you're on the field, yeah, he's a different person. Like he's like a land shark. But in off the field, he's just a genuine guy. Sean Dowling, one of the receivers, he had took me under his wing along with Gerard Jenkins. Um, I want to say Darian Simmons, because I want to say after my freshman season, I stayed over the summer. And I worked out with him, Tobias Cook, Marquise Cherry. Like, I'm the only receiver working out with these defensive linemen, and I'm keeping up with them too. So I guess, like, they saw something and like, yo, man, you strong, man. Like you're on your receiver. Like, I'm lifting some of the numbers that these bigger guys is lifting. So I guess, like, they saw something in me, and then I just wanted to just show them like that I'm worthy enough. And I guess they talk a lot about me like throughout the summer, saying like, we got Matt Cole here, and this is just the freshman. He just from his last past season. He didn't stay over the summer coming into my freshman year because I didn't even know he could do that. Like all these other prospects been doing. It's like once I got down there, August 6th of 2016, I just kept my head down and just started grinding. Another vet, like I said, Tobias Cook, which me and him just because I got heart over height. Even though I wasn't the biggest or the tallest or the strongest, you know what I'm saying? It's all about having heart.
Well, Matt, all those names you brought up, certainly I look at them as leaders on the team when they were on the roster during their active career. And I don't think you could have picked a better bunch right there.
Yeah, all genuine, wholesome fellas. I still keep in contact with them to this day.
Looking ahead, what's your goals for 2020?
I want to get active. Right now, I'm inactive, but by the end of this year, I'm gonna say by the end of the season, by the end of 2020, I'll be active. So that's the goal I'm aiming for. And yeah, I ain't gonna say too much about it because, like I said, like I just keep my head down. I just work. I can say one thing, and then I just gotta go out and prove it now.
Definitely understandable. Well, Matt, it's been great catching up with you. Congratulations on your success this year. I think I could speak for everybody at McKendree University. You don't know how proud we are of you, not only from a football standpoint, but from a university standpoint, how you've represented yourself and your institution. And we wish you nothing but the best of luck coming up in the fall.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate the support everybody's been sending me. You know, especially like this, like see your background. Come on, man. Like I'm flattered right now. Like I appreciate it.
And yeah, that was my little surprise for you. So we want to make sure that everybody sees the 82, and we want to see the 82 on the field this year.
Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, I couldn't get 88, but you know, when I was back in McKendree, once they gave me a number, I just stuck with it, and then I made the best of it. So, and then only reason why I like the number in the 80s because Coach Matt Raw, he was like, that's the guy who brought me into McKendree. One day he had saw me change my number to like a 14. He was like, why'd you change the number? I said, I was like, 88 is too big for me, like, because that's normally on taller receivers. And this is a true story. The next day at practice, he was like, you know what, Matt, I just went home and did some homework. You know the best receivers to ever play wore the number in the 80s? And then he's walking away from it. I was like, all right, I'm keeping 88 then, you know? And then now that I got 82, now I'm gonna write a legacy with that now, you know?
And there's the legend Matt Cole wearing 88. So never knew that story before. I appreciate you sharing that.
Yeah. That's how I kept 88. And then it turned to Android 88 because everybody said I'm a freak of nature, I'm a robot, and all this other stuff. So now, I got. Hopefully, I get a nickname with 82 soon. But that's not really my biggest priority. I want to be active first. That's all I really care about.
We do too, Matt. Believe me, we appreciate you taking the time out of your very busy schedule to join us today. Good luck in 2020. And like I said, we hope to see 82 out there before the year is over.
Oh, yeah, you will, for sure, in due time. I appreciate you for having me again. Thank you.
That was Matt Cole. I'm Scott Cummings. Thanks for joining us. And as always, it's a great day to be a Bearcat.
Always and forever.